He ran against a good horse called a Cambo in the Swinton Hurdle back end of last season. Well, they fancy that for the Great Wood. He's a 14-to-1 shot, so that's got to be fancied. He jumped well on his debut. Charlie's Double, couldn't fancy him too much at all. Joe Tizzard rides him. Natal, odds-on favourite, and probably just about justifies that. Penzance, a former winner of the Triumph Hurdle, 4-to-1, jumped well on a couple of occasions. Fairlong, first run over fences, but he's getting the 4-year-old allowance, 100-30, and one down the bottom, Pat Mandu Charmille, 25-1. I think it's anything. I'm interested to see how Fairlong jumps. He looked for all the world, Simon, over hurdles as he'd make a good chaser.
Well, we know that he's quite a headstrong front runner. He could be a very exciting ride, let's put it that way, for Richard Johnson here as they set off. Fairlong immediately into the lead from Natal in second place, and then the white-faced Penzance on the far side, Callow Lake in fourth, landing over the first, Pat Mandu Charmille, just an awkward landing from him, and on the near side Charlie's Double at the rear. Onto the second, Fairlong by about 4 lengths now, just well from Natal, Penzance, Callow Lake in the noseband, Jessica Harrington's runner, ridden by Andrew Lee, the son of Eamon Lee, of course the employee at Jessica's, so associated with Moscow Flyer. What a wonderful horse he was. The last two are Charlie's Double and Pat Mandu Charmille as they gallop on towards the third. Fairlong from the favourite Natal. Fairlong really stood off that. That was a tremendous leap there in the hands of Richard Johnson. He's got such enthusiasm, this Fairlong, transformed by a switch to hurdling last season, and has continued to run well on the flat as well during the summer. Really honest racehorse. Fairlong from Natal at the next. Penzance, Callow Lake was slow there in fourth, followed by Pat Mandu Charmille, and finally Charlie's Double. About to turn into the back straight then. Next is a plain fence, then the water, followed by an open ditch. So a variety of obstacles up and coming for these novices. Fairlong almost joined by Natal. Again, the leader jumps well. Callow Lake was very slow indeed at that. Almost landed in last place. Onto the water jump now from the blimp. And it's Fairlong. A length and a half to Natal and Penzance, the horse that chased home Denman last time out. Penzance at Exeter, to the white face there, returning to the seat of his greatest triumph. That was the Triumph in 2005. Over this ditch, and Fairlong looks really exciting at the moment. It's another super jump over the ditch from Natal and Penzance. Callow Lake fighting his way back into contention despite 1 or 2 mistakes as they take the next. Pat Mandu Charmille in 5th place, and then Charlie's Double. Making the top turn and racing uphill towards the ditch now. Fairlong almost joined by both Penzance and Natal, with Callow Lake in 4th place. Pat Mandu Charmille and Charlie's Double at the back as they take the ditch. It's Charlie's Double just jumping it, struggling to keep up with these very useful ex-hurdlers as they reach the top of the hill. So 3 fences left to jump in this independent newspaper Novices Chase. It's been won by some very good horses in the past. May well be won by another good one today. Fairlong leading the way, swinging along still from Natal. Then Penzance. That's been the order most of the way. Callow Lake is being just cajoled along towards the left in that noseband. Pat Mandu Charmille barely in touch as they run down towards 3 out. Fairlong at the third last. Again, really takes off out of Richard Johnson's hands there. Callow Lake makes his latest blunder, and it's the blunder that gets rid of Andrew Lee. Fairlong has got Natal in a little bit of trouble here, down towards the second last. Fairlong comes towards it. Another very athletic jump from Natal. Then Penzance, they're clear of Pat Mandu Charmille. So running round the final turn, and it's still Fairlong by about 4 or 5 lengths. Last year's Triumph Hurdle runner-up Fairlong. Natal really struggling to make inroads. Then Penzance, but it's quite a long haul home on the ground. But Fairlong has really raced with enthusiasm at the last. Another super little jump there from Natal in second. Then Penzance in third, and racing up the hill. And Fairlong, he absolutely loves jumping, this horse. What a round of jumping. First time out over fences, and he storms up the hill. Fairlong, what a lovely little horse. From in second, Natal. Third is Penzance, then Pat Mandu Charmille, and Charlie's double a long way back in 5th. Well, you'd be pushed to ask for any more than that from a first-time novice chase runner. Fairer Along has really taken to it. An exhibition round of jumping. What an exciting ride that must have been for Richard Johnson, beating the hot favourite Natal. Ruby Walsh was just niggling away from some way out on Natal, and he wasn't making much impression from the home turn.
I'm going to talk to Richard Johnson. Richard, a 4-year-old jumping like that, what was that like?
He's very, very good. He's not the biggest at all, and he makes up, and you know, he's very brave, and but he's also very intelligent now. He's looking what he's doing. Yeah. For his first run of fences, it's a good effort. And a great start to the day for you. Now, what about the big grey? What about Detroit City? Hopefully he's got a great chance. He did nothing wrong at all last year. You know, we were all just hoping for the best, and you know, to win at Cesarovic was very impressive as well. You know, he's obviously a horse, hopefully on the upgrade. And what about the ground today? The ground's tacky. It's on the soft side. You know, he struggled a bit on his first run last year, but maybe he wasn't quite right that day for Detroit City. So, you know, hopefully if he coaches for the ground, he's got a great chance. Well, great start to the day and a super performance. Well done. Thank you.
And that super performance has impressed the bookmakers, who come flooding in for quotes for him for the Arkle. Fairalong quoted best price 14 to 1 for the Arkle by BC Bet, 10 with Toad Sport, 12 with Blue Square, plenty more coming in. He wins here though at 100 to 30, a brilliant performance being celebrated by the punters behind. They're clapping him home. Second was number 3, the odds-on favourite Natal at 8 to 11, and third was number 4, Penzance at 7 to 2. Anything to note on the exchanges though, Nick?
Real warmth here for this Fairalong, a great performance, and you cottoned on to how well he was going very early in the race. Pre-race high of 5 to 1, he jumped the first couple and he was 5 to 2 or shorter thereafter. Fairalong, what a debut over fences for Philip Hobbs's charge. Impressive.